These fractions are quite awkward. Finding the lowest common multiple of these bottom numbers is going to be like difficult, and then getting them all over that same denominator. So the way that I did it was to convert them all to decimals. 3/4 is 0.75, that is worth knowing, and 5/8 is 0.625. It's good to know that 1/8 is 0.125. I've just then added that to 0.5. Okay, the rest are going to be a little bit trickier. But we actually only have to make a starting point. So 7's into 4 goes 0, but 7's into 40, and then going to give me a 5. Remainder 5, and then it will be 7's into 50, 7 times 7 is 49, so 5, 7. I think that's probably enough to get me going. It is then going to carry on. 11's into 7, along similar lines, is going to start with a 6, remainder 4, and then 3. So 0.63. And 13's into 8. Okay, this is probably the trickiest one. So 13's into 80. Let's try some numbers out. I don't know my 13 times table off the top of my head. So 5 times 13 is going to be 65. And then the next one up would be 78 by just adding 13 on. So it's also going to start with a 6. Okay, I am going to need to keep going with this then. So I'm going to get a remainder of 2, then it'll be 6, 1. And that's all I need. Because when I order them, I can see that this one is the smallest, and I've got the biggest here. But the second smallest is going to be this 8 over 13. Then we're going to get the third, and that's the one we're interested in. The middle one is going to be B, and then 0.63 here. An alternative method is to compare them, but use not 0 as like a reference point, but a half. Let's see how much more they're all greater than a half. I think this is a bit more out there, but it does work really nicely and avoids division like I've done. So 4 over 7 could be written as 8 over 14, which means that A is going to be 1/14 more than a half, which would be 7 over 14. For B, it'd be 4 over 8 that's a half, so it's 1 over 8 greater than a half. And here this is 1/4 greater than a half. For 7 over 11, I'll write it as 14 over 22. Now a half would be 11 over 22, so this is 3/22 over a half. And then here I've got 16 over 26, so this is 3/26 greater than a half. What if I now get the numerator them all as 3? So here I'd have 3 over 12, 3 over 24, and 3 over 42. Okay, so I can see this one is actually the closest to a half because the number at the bottom is the biggest. I'm dividing by the largest amount, so it's going to be the smallest, the closest to a half because I'm adding on the smallest amount. And then I just got to sort of keep going. So the second smallest would be this one, and then it would be our answer of B, because that is the third biggest, I should say, denominator, or the third smallest as well. So it is a nice approach worth thinking about as well.